Good morning, everyone. Today is March 24th. Welcome to the Montgomery County Council. My name is Natalie Fanny Gonzalez, and we have two very exciting proclamations today. We're going to start with the proclamation recognizing National Agriculture Day by Council Vice President Balcom, Council Members Fritzen and Lukey. Anybody who came for that proclamation, please move forward.
Okay, everyone come on in. Anybody who's here for Ag Day, come on up. So welcome everyone, and today we're honoring our farmers, our ag producers, and we should do this every day. We eat food every day. We should recognize where it comes from, and we should appreciate our farmers, and we're doing that today. We had a little breakfast this morning in our newly renovated cafe, and one of our farmers looked out the window and suggested we needed goats to instead of the lawnmower on our sod. So thank you, Doug, for that. Where's Doug? Thank you for that. Thank you for that suggestion. So we'll be getting little baby goats for our sod. So I just wanted to, as I said, our farmers wake up every morning and work very hard every day to make sure that we're fed, and we appreciate them. And I just want to turn this over to my colleagues to say a few words.
Thank you. Farming, agriculture is a business, but it is a business that we cannot live without. It is not an easy business. It is intensively hard, laborious work. It's also heavily regulated, and I think people forget that sometimes. But there's a lot that goes into the business of agriculture. And time again, our agricultural community has showed up. They have been outstanding partners to us in problem solving so that we can make sure agriculture is sustainable in the 21st century and delivers on behalf of our residents and our nearby residents, because food insecurity doesn't just stop at borders. We are a regional agricultural area, and I can't say enough about how much they do to assist with resolving our food insecurity issues. And I know Heather Bruskin, our director of the Office of Food Systems Resilience, is here today, and I don't know that people appreciate how much the logistical work of making sure what is grown in our ag reserve gets to the people who need it, how much work that takes to make that happen. It cannot happen without deep personal partnerships and without deep personal commitment of all the folks you see up here and all those who they represent who aren't here with us today in making sure that that work is done day in and day out. This has been an incredibly challenging time for our community as a whole, and our agricultural producers have stepped up to meet the moment and have been 100% committed to having those conversations and engaging in that dialogue with each of us and with other stakeholders in the community to make sure that we are doing the very best we can under these difficult circumstances. So this year more than ever, I express my sincere gratitude for all that you do in your businesses and all of who you are as people. Thank you for all that you do.
Good morning. It's great to be here with the two council members who represent the Agricultural Reserve. I had the great privilege of being able to represent the Ag Reserve for 4 years and continue to advocate for the protection and preservation of the Ag Reserve as chair of the committee that oversees agriculture. And each and every day we eat our food, and I don't think we think intentionally enough about how it got to where we are. And the work, the sacrifice, the efforts that have been undertaken by families in our community who make that food possible. Today, we celebrate that. We think that there is not a tradition that doesn't express appreciation, gratitude, and bless their food before they eat it in some form or fashion. And I think it's important and incumbent upon all of us to think and show our gratitude for the people who actually make that food possible and the hard work that goes into getting it to your farmer's market, getting it to your grocery store, and getting it to your family to sustain each of us. We are truly sustained by our agricultural producers. It is not an easy time economically in any industry. The agricultural community is an example of that. Not only do they have to deal with economic dynamics and trade dynamics, they have to deal with weather. You know, they don't work inside, they work outside. They are working with a product that is dependent on the nutrients and the soil and the rain and all of the various elements, and yet they do it without complaint, without fanfare. They just get the job done, and we are just deeply, deeply grateful to have them as part of our community and to ensure that we continue to move forward. I am proud of the fact that today really is an agricultural day at the council. We're going to be officially approving the Local Food Procurement Challenge to demonstrate through our action later today our commitment to supporting our local food producers to make our food system more resilient in Montgomery County. We need to be doing this each and every day, and we're just here to say thank you, to express our gratitude, and to move forward. And I'll say good morning to close off, or as our farmers like to say, this is midday. To them, we had breakfast, but I think they would call it, as my grandmother would say, supper. But it is great to be here. We know how hard they work. They're there before the sun comes up, and they are working until the sun goes down, and we owe them our gratitude every day. So thank you.
Thank you both. Now we're going to hear from Mike Scheffel. He is our Director of the Office of Agriculture.
So good morning, everybody. I want to thank the council for the proclamation today. And it's an honor, as I always say, to serve the agricultural community for this county. Behind us are first-generation farmers, folks that don't even own land, but are concerned enough about growing food that they want to be here and do that. There are legacy generational farmers here that continue to do what their family has done, like I said, for generations. There's livestock producers here. There's horticultural growers here. There's our commodity growers here. There's controlled environment agriculture here. There's value-added agricultural producers here. So it's important to see that Montgomery County is doing it all, and is an honor to continue to serve them. So thank you guys for all being here today. I know this isn't your most preferred way of spending the morning, but they know that it is important to be here because truly Montgomery County cares. And you can see it here from the council, from the executive side, that Montgomery County cares about agriculture. So thank you.
Okay, so let's read the proclamation. Whereas this year marks the 53rd anniversary of National Agriculture Day, a day where we celebrate and uplift the significant contributions of our agricultural community in Montgomery County and across the country. And whereas agriculture is all around us, from the food we eat, the items we use, the clothes we wear, and the fuel that powers our world. And
whereas National Ag Day encourages us to understand how food and fiber products are produced, value the essential role that agriculture plays in maintaining a strong economy, and appreciate the role agriculture plays in providing safe, abundant, and affordable products. And whereas this year's National Agricultural Day is themed Together We Grow, and in Montgomery County, we have been committed to highlighting the importance of agriculture and expanding opportunities for our youth to learn about agriculture firsthand. And
whereas Montgomery County's agricultural producers contribute over $280 million to our economy each year, with the county being home to over 70,000 acres of agriculturally assessed lands and over 500 farms that employ over 10,000 people. And whereas our agricultural reserve is a testament of our commitment to our strong agricultural heritage and continues to be a landmark in land preservation across the nation.
Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Council Vice President Marilyn Balcom, Council members Andrew Friedson and Don Lutke recognized today as National, it's farmers, National Agricultural Day, where we celebrate our agricultural producers for the enrichment they provide to our daily lives through the tireless work. Montgomery County remains committed to uplifting and empowering our agricultural partners every day, presented the 24th day of March this year. Thank you. And now come on up.
I'm the oldest. Thank you so much for our National Agriculture Day sponsors, and thank you for all our farmers for coming here today. We love having you here. The next proclamation, it's a proclamation recognizing John Hashoa. I hope I got that one right. By council members Katz, the birthday boy, Friedson, and Glass. It's his birthday, that's why. Everybody who came for that proclamation, please move forward. Don't be shy. Come on down.
Well, good morning, everyone, and thank you for being with us. It's our honor to present, my honor to present with Council Members Friedson and Glass, the proclamation in recognition of Yom HaShoah, also known as Holocaust Remembrance Day. This is a day observed annually to commemorate the 6 million Jews murdered in the Holocaust and to honor the lives of the survivors and their families. Yom HaShoah reminds us of the horrors that Jews and other persecuted groups faced, which often resulted in death. It was a systemic effort to wipe out an entire population from the face of the earth. In today's world, with rising anti-Semitism and other forms of hate-based violence, the observance of Yom HaShoah is more relevant than ever. On Sunday, April 12th, the Jewish Community Relations Council of Greater Washington, JCRC, will host a community-wide Holocaust remembrance commemoration to honor the victims, survivors, and families, members living in the D.C. region. In Montgomery County, we are facing anti-Semitism to an extent that we have never seen before. The Montgomery County Hate and Bias Incident Reporting Portal was created last year for county residents to report hate and bias incidents. Incidents within the past year have included stolen property and hate graffiti at our congregations and anti-Semitic symbols found in our schools and our bus stops. And these are just the incidents reported to the police during 30 days in February. The amount of anti-Semitism in our county today is unprecedented, and there is no reason to believe that it will just go away. It is important to report hate and bias crimes so that we can track them. identify trends, and develop better strategies to combat hate and bias in our county. I'd like to conclude with the words of Otto Frank, the father of Anne Frank. We cannot change what happened anymore. The only thing we can do is to learn from the past and realize what discrimination and persecution of innocent people mean. And I'm going to turn it over to Councilmember Friedson and Councilmember Glass, and then we're going to ask Manny Mandel, who's going to speak this evening, and then I'll ask everyone to please introduce themselves. Please.
We stand here today once again as a county council, county government, and community to bear witness for the lost and for the living, to assume our solemn obligation to tell the stories, to share the history, to remember the atrocities of the Holocaust, one of the darkest chapters of human history. The magnitude of the loss is so overwhelming, it's hard to comprehend. The 6 million Jews murdered by the Nazis and their collaborators between 1933 and 1945 is equivalent to the systematic murder of every single person living in the state of Maryland right now. Think about that for a moment. Now consider if we held a minute of silence for every single life lost, an inadequate amount of time to honor their memory. And yet if we did that, we would be standing here in that deafening silence for more than 11 years. As time goes on and the survivors advance in age, we must record their stories so that we have them for perpetuity. And we must teach our children so they can teach their children. So this history remains a part of our collective memory. Holocaust survivors, some of whom are here with us today, represent an extraordinary act of rebellion against sheer evil. Each and every day of their lives, every celebration that they have of their children and their grandchildren's lives, is one of the most remarkable acts of defiance against oppression and cruelty. With anti-Semitism rising to the most alarming levels of our lifetime, with the scourge of Holocaust denial compounded by those who similarly diminish the October 7th Hamas attacks, or who horrifyingly even celebrate and glorify it, the worst massacre of Jews since the Holocaust. And as we saw 140 Jewish preschoolers at Temple Israel nearly lost to indiscriminately violent Jew hatred. Never again, tragically, has never been more relevant than now. As we remember those who perished and honor those who survived, we stand together in solidarity as a community to condemn anti-Semitism in all its forms, to combat bigotry and violent extremism against anyone, anywhere, and to band together to fight against hate whenever, wherever, and against whomever it manifests.
We are here to honor Yom HaShoah, Holocaust Remembrance Day, when millions of Jews were murdered. I reflect on what happened decades ago, and I'm saddened and fearful that that is happening again. Not only with members of the Jewish faith, but we are seeing systematic rounding up of our neighbors. We are seeing government officials silencing, killing, deporting, hurting. Government unchecked is what leads to mass killing. It's what happened during the Holocaust. We, as a community, need to stand up, speak out for our neighbors. We know that no one spoke out for the Jews and everybody else thereafter who were rounded up. And so it is our solemn responsibility that as we remember Holocaust Remembrance Day, we say never again, not only for members of the Jewish faith, but for all of our neighbors, That is our community. That is why we live here. That is what our local government is committed to doing.
Manny, please. Yeah, please.
Good morning, everybody. Excuse me. Good morning, everybody. My name is Manny Mandel. I'm a survivor of the Holocaust. I'm a survivor of Bergen-Belsen, the camp in which the most well-known victim of the Holocaust, in fact, where she was murdered. That's Anne Frank. She was referred to a moment ago. I'm here to accept the proclamation given by the Montgomery County Council and the sponsors, Sidney Katz, Andrew Friedson, and Evan Glass, which they've done now for a good number of years. I forget exactly how many. It's very important to know that the county government recognizes the need to talk about Holocaust, to present about Holocaust, and to make noise about Holocaust. Because Holocaust is a story of the past, and if we do not know our past, we cannot determine our future. I would like to indicate to you that as a survivor, I represent a group of diminishing resource. We survivors do what we can to remind the community, to educate the community, to teach the community. At the point that we're no longer going to be here, which is not in that many years, I would like to hope that other organizations, some of whom are represented behind me, called the 2 Gs, and then the 3 Gs will pick up the cudgel and pick up the responsibility for teaching about this. I would like to end my remarks simply by a reading of a memorial, not a memorial prayer, but a prayer that's done in the Jewish community called the Kaddish, which is done at funerals, commemorations, and memorials. All I ask is that you stay silent. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'omad yivrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechono v'beichon, v'chayei l'chol Beit Yisrael v'agala v'zman kari v'imru amen. Yehi shram harav mevrach l'olam me'omaya, יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתעלה שמי וקודשה בריחו לעילה מן כל מלאכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דע אמירם בעלמא ואמרו אמן. יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיה וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו, all of us together, amen. Thank you.
I'd like everyone to please introduce themselves, and then we're going to read the proclamation. Introduce yourself, please.
I'm Mandy Book. I work with Jewish Community Relations Council and all of these incredible people.
My name is Robert Lubrin, the son of a Holocaust family.
I am Olympia Sula. I represent Generations After, the local second generation organization, and I'm also a member of the Yom HaShoah committee with JCRC.
I'm Robert Teitel. I'm an orphan survivor from the Netherlands.
Jacob Dedenbaum. I'm a child of 2 Holocaust survivors, member of JCRC and Next Generation's Speakers Bureau.
Dina Hirsch. I am the daughter of 2 survivors who were in the resistance, member of the Generations After Board, also on the Holocaust Commission.
I'm Shelley Klein, also with Generations After, and I'm the daughter of 2 Holocaust survivors.
Hi, I'm Jackie Fishman. I am the daughter of 2 Holocaust survivors and also on the Speakers Bureau with JCRC.
Hi, I'm Deborah Miller with the JCRC Jewish Community Relations Council, and grateful for the support we get in Montgomery County from all our elected officials and for all of the survivors, 2Gs and 3Gs. And we are having a Yom HaShoah celebration, commemoration, April 12th in Virginia.
Good morning. My name is Sophia Pressman. I'm a care manager at Jewish Social Service Agency. working with the Russian-speaking Holocaust survivors. And also, I'm a second generation of Holocaust survivors. My grandparents, my parents survived. So it's great that it's remembered. Thank you.
Thank you all for being with us. We're going to read a proclamation, if I can figure out how to put in a microphone. Got it? Okay. Whereas the Holocaust was the state-sponsored, systemic persecution and annihilation of European Jews by Nazi Germany and its collaborators between 1933 and 1945, Jews were the primary target of the genocide. 6 million were murdered, and
whereas, pursuant to a 1980 Act of Congress, the United States Memorial Council designates days of remembrance each year to reflect on the horrific crimes committed during the Holocaust and to ensure that the memory and legacy of those who were murdered will never be forgotten. And
whereas we have a collective responsibility to those who perished, as well as to those who survived, to educate current and future generations, and to rededicate ourselves to teaching the history of the Holocaust and explaining its continued impact on the world. And
whereas on Sunday, April 12, 2026, the Jewish Community Relations Council of Greater Washington will host a community-wide Holocaust Remembrance Commemoration, Yom HaShoah, to honor the victims, survivors, and family members living in the region. And
whereas Montgomery County is home to the largest Jewish population in the state of Maryland, with 45% of the state's Jewish residents living here in our community. Considering recent events and amidst an ongoing, alarming rise of anti-Semitism across the country and throughout the world, Montgomery County stands united in solidarity with our Jewish residents to combat hate in all its forms. And
whereas the County Council unanimously passed a resolution on November 1st, 2022 to address and combat anti-Semitism, pledging to support Jewish residents who make up about 10% of the county's population. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the County Council of Montgomery County, Maryland hereby recognizes Tuesday, March 24th, 2026 as Holocaust Remembrance Day, Yom HaShoah, in Montgomery County. And be it further resolved that all residents are urged to recommit themselves to not bear silent witness to injustice and to always remain vigilant to the principles of a just society. Signed on this day by the three of us and Council President Natty Fani Gonzalez.
we'll hand out the others.
Thank you to everyone who joined us today. And again, thank you to Council Members Katz, Friedson, and Glass. It's always important to remember our history so we can move forward. And this was beautiful. Thank you for all your work on this, and to the community for joining us today. We're going to move on to general business. Madam Clerk, would you share today's announcements, please?
Good morning. A public hearing will be held on Tuesday, April 7th, 2026 at 1:30 p.m. for the following FY 27 to 32 capital improvement program projects recently transmitted to the County Council for consideration. The first is Next Generation Technology Refresh, Bus Rapid Transit, Maryland 355 North, and Bus Rapid Transit, New Hampshire Avenue. Also, public hearings on the proposed FY 27 operating budgets and FY 27 to 32 public services will be held on Tuesday, April 7th, 2026 at 1:30 p.m. and 6:30 p.m., Wednesday, April 8th, 2026 at 1:30 and 6:30 p.m., and Thursday, April 9th, 2026 at 1:30 p.m. at the Council Office Building. Those wishing to provide testimony must register in advance on the Council website or by calling 240-777-7803. Thank you.
Thank you. We're going to move on with the minutes from March 3rd, 2026. Council session have been circulated to the Council for review. Are there any objections to approving these minutes? Seeing none, these minutes are approved. The Council will sit as the District Council for the consideration of action on the remand of local map amendment H-149 regarding the property located at the intersection of Randolph Road and Georgia Avenue in Silver Spring, Maryland, also known as Wheaton, as part of Parcel A. Can't help myself, guys. Plat number 6337. And Parcel B, plat number 8065 in the Americana Glenmont subdivision and the Americana Glenmont Apartments subdivision. I'm going to ask Council staff to please walk us to this item. Please let me know if anybody has any question. Go ahead.
Good morning, Council. So as you see before you, this is local map amendment H-149. It might look familiar because the Council actually approved this LMA in September 2024 after hearing oral arguments. To refresh your memories, the oral arguments were on proposed connection of Erskine Avenue, access to the Glenmont Metro, procedural questions about the hearing before the hearing examiner, and weight given to an engineering report. As is always possible with LMAs, this was actually appealed to the district court, who disagreed with the council's decision and asked for more evidence on school adequacy and transportation. So the hearing examiner held an additional hearing in December and received, I believe, an additional 19 exhibits, including from planning with more school analysis, as well as transportation. As usual, the council is not conceding that we agreed with the court, but did follow through with that remand order. I believe you actually discussed it when you heard it last time, that those are the types of issues that are often discussed at the site plan stage. You'll hear more from the hearing examiner about the hearing that happened, but a quick preview is the parties actually decided to settle about halfway through cross-examination of the witnesses and added an additional condition about height. So there is a new proposed resolution before you. As you know, LMA resolutions can be rather lengthy, so we did a little legal trick here where we incorporated by reference your last decision and then added analysis on the additional information received. And with that, I will turn to the hearing examiner. Oh, sorry, one more note. If you disagree with the resolution before you, which approves it, then we'll need to come back next week with a new resolution.
Good morning, Madam Council President, Council Vice President, and Council members. My name is Kandikile Sokoni. I'm the hearing examiner with the Office of Zoning and Administrative Hearings, OZA, and I'm joined by my colleague, Ms. Kimberly Ward. Today is day 2 on Team OZA, so I'm very pleased to introduce her to you. Yes, as Ms. Ndu just elaborated, we are back here. This is a remand hearing, and I just want to emphasize at the outset that the only change from the floating zone plan that you saw before is that now there is an additional binding element, and I'll just, I can highlight what that is. So the new binding element that was added places a height restriction and is supposed to be protective of the neighborhood to the north, and was actually negotiated that was the result of this settlement. We're midway through the hearing. So the binding element reads that the building height shall not exceed a maximum of 45 feet between the northeast corner of the property and a point 470 feet west of that corner along Randolph Road, for a depth of 100 feet as measured from the Randolph Road property line. This was a negotiated settlement, and as Ms. Ndu mentioned, we did get additional evidence into the record, and so there was no need to belabor the details. I'm happy to take any questions. I just want to mention that except where I did submit a report and recommendation to the council, to the district council, and except where I specifically highlighted otherwise, we adopted the findings and conclusions in the prior resolution. The hearing examiner's conclusion is that for the reasons stated in the record, and we even though we didn't complete the hearing, evidence was introduced, experts testified on the issues of school adequacy and neighborhood compatibility, and it's my recommendation that this floating zone with this additional binding element would satisfy the requirements of the zoning ordinance, and I therefore recommend approval, but I'm happy to take any questions if the district council has them.
Thank you so much for that presentation and the details that you provided in the staff report. This is, as you all know, this is my district, and I have followed this closely. And I want to thank you for all the work that you all have done to ensure that this is that meet people's and communities' expectations too, because that's really important. I don't have questions and comment. I'm here to support your recommendations. I don't see anybody else wanting to speak. So with that, we have a recommendation from the Office of Zoning Administrative Hearings. This is a roll call vote. Madam Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Councilmember Lukey?
Yes.
Councilmember Lukey votes yes. Councilmember Mink?
Yes.
Councilmember Mink votes yes. Councilmember Sales?
Yes.
Councilmember Sales votes yes. Councilmember Stewart?
Yes.
Councilmember Stewart votes yes. Councilmember Glass? Yes. Councilmember Glass votes yes. Councilmember Katz?
Yes.
Councilmember Katz votes yes. Councilmember Friedson?
Yes.
Councilmember Friedson votes yes. Councilmember Evans?
Yes.
Councilmember Evans votes yes. Councilmember Jawando?
Yes.
Councilmember Jawando votes yes. Councilmember Balcom?
Yes.
Councilmember Balcom votes yes. Councilmember Fanny Gonzalez?
Yes.
Councilmember Fanny Gonzalez votes yes.
Thank you so much. This is unanimous, and thank you for your work. We're gonna move on to the next item for the District Council's consideration is action on zoning text amendment 25-14. Optional method public benefits overlay zones. The Planning, Housing, and Parks Committee recommends approval with an amendment. Chair Friedson, would you please share the committee's recommendation?
Yes, thank you, Madam President, and thank you to you and to Councilmember Jawando. This was a ZTA that was introduced by the Planning, Housing, and Parks Committee after months-long conversations and significant discussions with the Planning Department, and really want to thank Ms. Nadeau for all of her hard work alongside the Planning Department and the committee as we navigated through this issue. It will amend the overlay zones to make them consistent with the new optional method public benefits system that we approved in July through ZTA 2505 development standards. Optional method public benefits, that ZTA created new optional method public standards that we could modernize what the public benefits were to simplify that menu of options and make sure it actually reflected what the community's needs were, and also to balance countywide priorities with local community-based benefits that development could provide. ZTA 2514 will amend the overlay zones that had localized changes to the prior public benefit system and required additional review to ensure that those specific standards would fit within the new system. The impacted overlay zones specifically are Bethesda, Downtown Silver Spring, Germantown Transit Mixed Use, Great Seneca Life Sciences, and the TDR overlay zone. 2514 will also grandfather the existing public benefits points system standards from the overlay zones to allow for a transition period as is customary. The Planning, Housing, and Parks Committee recommends approval with an amendment to update the source data for the biennial adjustments for payments in lieu. I want to thank Director Sartori, Mr. Sharma, the entire team, some of whom are here with us today, for a tremendous amount of effort that went into this. We didn't have to have a robust debate at committee because a lot of work went into it prior to that, and a lot of public engagement with community members, stakeholders, and property owners to understand what the implications would be. And this implementation measure has better positioned us to make sure that the public benefits that we are seeking are closely aligned and match our collective public policy priorities. So this is a significant update. It's really the implementation of the policy decision that we made back in the summer, and it is a positive step forward for the community. So with that, we have a committee recommendation, and I will yield back to you.
Thank you so much to the chair of the PHP committee. I will just add, as a member of that committee, that it was a pleasure, as he mentioned, to work with, as a committee, we were united on this one. Very important item, and I also want to thank staff for all your work. I don't see anybody else wanting to speak. Does the staff have anything else to add?
Nothing to add. Thank you.
Beautiful. So we have a recommendation from the Planning, Housing, and Parks Committee. This is a roll call vote. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Lukey?
Yes.
Councilmember Lukey votes yes. Councilmember Mink?
Yes.
Councilmember Mink votes yes. Councilmember Sales?
Yes.
Councilmember Sales votes yes. Councilmember Stewart?
Yes.
Councilmember Stewart votes yes. Councilmember Glass?
Yes.
Councilmember Glass votes yes. Councilmember Katz?
Yes.
Councilmember Katz votes yes. Councilmember Friedson?
Yes.
Councilmember Friedson votes yes. Councilmember Evans?
Yes.
Councilmember Evans votes yes. Councilmember Jawando?
Yes.
Councilmember Jawando votes yes. Councilmember Baucom?
Yes.
Councilmember Baucom votes yes. Councilmember Fanny Gonzalez?
Yes.
Councilmember Fanny Gonzalez votes yes.
It was unanimous. Thank you so much for your work. We're going to move on to item C. That's action on zoning text amendment 26-02, overlay zones, regional shopping center. The Planning, Housing, and Parks Committee recommends approval with an amendment. Chair Friedson, can you please share the recommendation?
Thank you, Madam President. Thank you again for your co-leadership on this effort. ZTA 2602 allows a multifamily residential development to exceed the current 30% cap for a site within the RSC overlay zone, provided that the regional shopping center of at least 600,000 leasable square feet is retained within that overlay zone. The measure really is intended to recognize the changing landscape of regional shopping centers. We only have two in each of our districts now remaining in Montgomery County that we oversee. There's one in the city of Gaithersburg, and they're dealing with that themselves. And this allows for flexibility in site design while ensuring that continued operation of a major commercial center continues. It really is the idea of ensuring that we have enough housing and enough retail to support and coexist each other, and this helps us move in that direction. It was introduced on January 27th. We had a public hearing on March 3rd. The PHP committee held a work session on March 9th and made a few amendments allowing all types of housing, single unit, 2-unit, and townhouses in the RSC overlay zone and the underlying GR zone, and replaced terminology related to gross floor area with gross leasable area as it relates to the 600,000 square feet that must be maintained by the retail shopping center, which matches and aligns with the definition that is used in the zoning code. I'll just note that that came from Department of Permitting Services as part of their public feedback, so we did take that into consideration and move forward unanimously with that suggestion, which was really the intent, but there was a drafting clarification that we were able to update. So with that, I want to thank Ms. McCartney Green for her efforts and her work here. I will tell her that zoning text amendments are not always this straightforward, so don't let Ms. Nadeau try to convince you otherwise when she tries to pawn off the next zoning text amendment on you, but this one was pretty seamless, and appreciate you jumping into the fold to help us to make this important update, which will be really important for two of the most important retail and commercial locations in Montgomery County, in Wheaton, and in Bethesda at Montgomery Mall and at Wheaton. So thank you so much.
Thank you for that report. Does the council staff have anything else to add?
Just want to note that the PHP committee was very nice to me during committee, so it was a pleasure.
The PHP committee is always nice to staff. Come on.
That happened only once. Okay, so I don't see anybody else wanting to speak. So with that, everyone, we have a recommendation from the Planning, Housing, and Parks Committee. This is a roll call vote. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Lukey?
Yes.
Councilmember Lukey votes yes. Councilmember Mink?
Yes.
Councilmember Mink votes yes. Councilmember Sales?
Yes.
Councilmember Sales votes yes. Councilmember Stewart?
Yes.
Councilmember Stewart votes yes. Councilmember Glass? Yes. Councilmember Glass votes yes. Councilmember Katz?
Yes.
Councilmember Katz votes yes. Councilmember Friedson?
Yes.
Councilmember Friedson votes yes. Councilmember Evans?
Yes.
Councilmember Evans votes yes. Councilmember Jawando? Councilmember Jawando votes yes. Councilmember Balcom?
Yes.
Councilmember Balcom votes yes. Councilmember Fanny Gonzalez?
Yes.
Councilmember Fanny Gonzalez votes yes.
This was unanimous. Thank you so much for all your work. We are going to move on to another very exciting item. That's action on a resolution to approve the Clarksburg Gateway Sector Plan. I'm going to pass it to council staff and see if there's anything else that you would like to add to remind us about all the work that you have done with the PHP committee and the district council member. No?
Well,
if you put it that way.
you put it that way. Well, yeah, I would just like to say good morning to the council. As you know, the Planning, Housing, and Parks Committee had 3 lengthy work sessions on this plan, worked through all of the recommendations in the plan, and made quite a few edits to it. You will see that in the attached resolution for today. Just so the council knows, you also had your work session on it. And we then within the next few days posted this resolution. It's been online for about 2 weeks for the public to see. And so now it is before you for action. So thank you.
Thank you for that. I'm going to turn it to the chair of the PHP committee, Andrew Friedson.
Thank you. Again, this is kind of a Planning, Housing, and Parks Committee morning, so we really appreciate it. Thank you to Ms. Dunn and to the planning team for all of their work on this. Thank you to all the community members and stakeholders, and thanks to the committee. We really had a good discussion and conversation. This was not the most controversial plan, fortunately, because a lot of the work that was controversial was done before it got to us, which is always nice. Sometimes that doesn't happen. In this case, it did, and it made it a really pleasant experience where we could dig into a few fine point issues, but really not get into the weeds of trying to wordsmith every aspect of it. So I really appreciate all of the legwork that occurred. And one of the reasons why that happened was that there was such significant engagement really early on by the district council member. So really want to express my sincere appreciation to Councilmember Balcom for really stepping in and engaging this process from the very beginning and bringing community stakeholders together and utilizing her former chamber executive director job role and using it to its strength in organizational management and otherwise in this case, but it really was a really positive thing. And I'll just note how important this Clarksburg Gateway Plan is for Up County, for the 270 corridor, for establishing a framework to guide future economic development, support job growth, and enhance quality of life, not only in Clarksburg, but really in the entire Up County. This is one of the most significant signature sites that we have in this part of the county. It was a former significant job site, and we hope it will be a future significant job site. And I just want to appreciate colleagues for our intentionality with that. We really wanted to focus, and we updated some language and refined some language from planning to really focus in on that particular point, that our goal here is to ensure that we have transportation improvements, that we expand access to park and recreational amenities, and that we reflect a balanced approach that supports growth, protects natural resources, and really champions jobs in Up County, because one of the best ways we can address traffic and transportation in Up County is to make sure that we have jobs in Up County. And this is a really important part of that effort for a really critical site and sector plan. So thank you to the planning board chair who's here, the planning director, to the whole team, and really appreciate that. And again, I want to express my appreciation to the district council member who really was at this from the beginning. So with that, I'll yield back, Madam President. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to turn it to the district council member, Council Vice President Marilyn Balcom.
Thank you. So thank you for your kind words. So I just want to say thank you to everybody involved. So many people were involved in this, particularly the planning staff, for really making sure that the community was engaged. This is a community that often doesn't have a say, and so I really appreciate the work that you did to make sure that there were many, many meetings, and we really got the word out to have people there. So I appreciate that. And then also to the PHP committee for being very welcoming throughout all the conversations at the committee session. So when it comes to us, master plans are considered the end of a process, right? But for the community, they really are the beginning. They're the beginning of a redevelopment, the beginning of opportunity, the beginning of an exciting transition into our community. So I think while this is a great plan, I think we ended up in a great place, but implementation starts. So we just need to make sure that all the promises that we made in the master plan that come to fruition, and that is in part through the county, in part to the private sector, and we just want to make sure that we are partners with you. So thank you.
Thank you for that. I don't see anybody else wanting to speak, and with that, I need a motion. Action on resolution to approve the Clarksburg Gateway Sector Plan. Moved by Council Vice President Merrill Balcom. Second by Council Member Andrew Fritzen. All those in favor, please raise your hand. It passed unanimously. Thank you so much for all your work, everyone. You can breathe now. We are going to move on to the final item in our district council session today, and that's a work session in action on a resolution to approve the planning board draft amendment to the master plan for historic preservation for the Rosebud House. If we can have staff, I see them coming here. I'm going to turn it to staff. He can please kick us off. Thank you.
Good morning, Council. I'll just make one opening comment for the Council and for the public. This was scheduled to go to the Planning, Housing, and Parks Committee. As you know, we had to cancel the day that the weather was predicted to be not preferable to stay in the building. And with that, we decided to bring this straight to Council. So we are going to have some remarks from the Historic Preservation staff here, sort of as a work session before taking action on this. And part of the reason we can come straight to Council rather than having a committee session is that there was overwhelming support for this designation. The property owner supports it. It was supported by the Historic Preservation Commission and the Planning Board and the planning staff. And so I'll let them give a few remarks. You did receive a briefing. You've had a public hearing on this, and you've held a briefing on it, but I'll turn it to them. Thank you.
Before we turn it to Ms. Rebecca Vallo, I'm going to ask the chair of the PHP committee to share a few remarks.
All right, well, yeah, because I can't speak after because she's going to do such a good job of talking about this exciting project. As noted, we were supposed to hold a committee session on this, but it was overwhelmingly supported, and we thought that moving forward was the most important thing that we could do. The Rosebud House has stood in the historic Black Enclave in Sandy Spring for over 113 years. The house, located on a 2.7 acre site on Brook Road, is locally significant for its association with growth and development of Sandy Springs Black community and for its association with Perry Budd and his family. We'll be hearing more about that in a moment. And this came at the request of the Rosebud House's property owners. I'll just note that that has become a new trend, which is really exciting, that the actual property owners are requesting historic preservation of their properties. We saw this with the former site for where Special Olympics was created and the Kennedy Shriver family, and we're seeing this again here. I think that reflects the interest level that community members have and the passion and the commitment that they have for the rich history that we have, and particularly in this case, as we're seeing our history being erased in too many other places around the country. This is an example where Montgomery County is going in the opposite direction, and we're not doing it by imposing that. We're doing it in response to the community members who are demanding it, which I just think should be a source of pride for all of us. This came over on December 4th, 2025. The Planning Board listed the property in the Locational Atlas and Index of Historic Sites and is recommending amending the Master Plan for Historic Preservation to the list of subject properties as a Master Plan historic site. As colleagues know, the full council was briefed by the Planning Department. That's part of the reason why we thought that we could bypass committee. We did receive testimony, as a reminder to colleagues, by Romaine Marie Rose, the descendant of the Rosebud family, and Allison Weiss, executive director of the Sandy Spring Museum, and both of them expressed enthusiastic support for this designation. So I'm really excited about moving this forward and really appreciate all of the work of the historic preservation team, and really appreciate colleagues for going along with bypassing committee in this particular case and moving forward with approval here after the council was fully briefed. So with that, I will yield to you to yield to historic preservation. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you so much. We're going to start with the Historic Preservation Division Chief, Rebecca Vallo. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam President, and thank you to Ms. Dunn and to Councilmember Friedson for the enthusiastic and supportive greeting this morning. I'm not here to give the council a full briefing. Again, you guys received a PowerPoint presentation. You have the planning board's draft proposed amendment. I did want to speak really briefly about the overall purpose of the Master Plan for Historic Preservation. It was first adopted by the County Council in 1979. And what the Master Plan allows the Planning Department and the Historic Preservation team to do is to document, but to also to preserve those physical places, those touchstones in our community that are historically resonant. The designation criteria that are in the county code that were proposed by the master plan allow us to designate places that are important for international significance, such as the Timberlawn site, but also places that are significant in national, state, and to me, most importantly, local history. When you drive by this house on Brook Road, it's a very nice looking house, but just to look at it, you may not understand its significance to the community, to Sandy Spring, to the African American community, and to Montgomery County. So sometimes we bring forward designations to you that meet, 5 or 6 designation criteria. And here we're bringing one that meets 2 criteria specifically for local history and local significance, not for architectural significance or because, this is a grand house or a really high style example of a neighborhood. But it puts it on par with a place like Timberlawn or with, the grander houses or larger neighborhoods that we are already documenting and celebrating here in Montgomery County. And for me, it is really a joy and a privilege to have people from the community reach out to our office, say they are interested not just in having their stories documented, which is really an act of trust, people reaching out to the government and asking for that kind of assistance, trusting us with their family histories, their stories. We have some wonderful personal photographs that were lent to us by the family that are in the amendment that you see, but then also trusting us to help them be stewards of their property because we are preserving those physical places. People can now drive by, see the house, and have a place to go to understand that story, and they can see it there in their community. And to me, that is a privilege that we get to do this work. So I'm very thankful to Ms. Romaine Rose for reaching out to us, for sticking with us through the couple of years that it took us to work on this amendment. And we are just here to answer any questions that you may have this morning. Again, the Planning Board has recommended that it be designated that it meets 2 criteria in the ordinance. And again, happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
Thank you for that explanation. I see Councilmember Lorian Sells.
Thank you, Madam President, and thank you to the chair for his words and for teeing this up. I'm just so proud that we are taking the time to, preserve the historic landmarks in our community. I want to thank Romaine Marie Rose, a descendant of the Rosebud family, for her testimony in support of this historic designation. The Budd family were founding settlers of free Black communities in the Sandy Spring area. And what strikes me about this property is that it's not just a house. It is a living record of what Black families in Montgomery County built, sustained, and passed down across generations. 4 generations of educators and professionals came out of that home, and the family is still connected to it. So this is exactly the kind of resource we have the responsibility to protect, and I'm proud to support this amendment and look forward to joining my colleagues in doing so. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Lorian Sales. I don't see anybody else wanting to speak. I thank you for your time and the amazing work that you always bring to us. With that, I need a motion to approve the Planning Board draft amendment to the Master Plan for historic preservation for the Rosebud House, moved by Councilmember Don Lukey. Was you, right? Who was it?
I was trying, but I was going to wait till you finished your sentence. Yeah.
Well, who got first? You did? Okay. Councilmember Lorian Sales, second by Councilmember Will Jawando. All those in favor, please raise your hand. The motion passes. Thank you so much for your time. Do you have?
Yes, thank you. For the record, Jason Sartori, Planning Director. I just wanted to take a moment. I think this morning with the ZTAs, with the Clarksburg Plan, Rosebud House, really is a good demonstration of the great work that we do at the Commission, and when we're able to focus on our work program. There are a lot of things happening around us right now for important reasons that we need to give our attention to those things. Some things like ensuring that everyone in Montgomery County feels comfortable or feels welcome in our community is directly related to our work. Other things are not and are really just distractions that take us away from the important work that we do. But I did want to express our sincere appreciation for your continued strong support for the Commission, for our departments, and for the great work that we do. So thank you very much.
And with that, we're going to move on. Thank you so much. We will move on to the legislative session. This is day number 8. We will have one bill for final reading today, and that's Bill 3-26, Administration Immigration Enforcement Guidance Required, the County Values Act. The Joint Public Safety and Government Operations and Fiscal Policy Committee recommends enactment with amendments. I'm going to start with Councilmember Chair Stewart to please share part of the Joint Committee's recommendation, and then we move up to the other chair.
Great. Thank you, Council President Fanny Gonzalez. First, I want to thank Councilmember Mink and her team for her lead on this bill, and to my co-chair, Councilmember Katz. I'm very glad to report that the Joint Committee unanimously approved this bill with amendments for Council consideration. The purpose of this bill is to establish policies to govern interactions with our county facilities, property, and our staff, and their interactions with Immigration and Customs Enforcement when they are doing civil immigration enforcement. It is geared towards preparing and assisting our staff in their potential interactions with ICE. At its core, this bill seeks to reaffirm our county's values of equity, inclusiveness, dignity, and justice, and maintaining community trust by clearly separating county services from federal immigration enforcement. Specifically, the bill will require the county executive to develop and publish guidance and provide trainings related to immigration enforcement action at county facilities, require county departments to adopt certain policies consistent with the executive's guidance, and limit access to certain areas for immigration enforcement subject to certain conditions, and also prohibits any civil engagement enforcement activities in county parking lots, garages, and vacant lots. I want to thank all the committee members for their diligent work on this. We did discuss 3 amendments. One was to remove the duplicative warrant access language that this council already codified in the Promoting Community Trust Act. The second was for the county executive to establish an online portal for the public to report unauthorized use of county property for immigration enforcement, unauthorized entry into non-public county spaces, or harmful conduct by any individual conducting immigration enforcement. And I do want to thank our co-chair, Councilmember Katz, and his team for their work on putting together that amendment. In addition, we also passed an amendment to update the signage requirements for the exterior building entrances and non-public interior spaces. And I just want to thank Ms. McCartney Green for her work on this, and also to Ms. Luisa Cardona in the County Executive's Office for her work on this. And I will turn it over to my co-chair, Councilmember Katz.
Thank you very much, Madam Co-Chair and Madam President. First off, let me thank Councilmember Mink as well and the entire Joint Committee, and Ms. McCartney Green, who not only worked with everybody else, but she certainly worked with our office about the amendment that was approved without objection for the online portal. I actually got that idea from reading what happened in the state of New Jersey and realized that we could have a much stronger bill if that happened. My office worked with Ms. McCartney Green and everybody else at that point to see if we could figure out the best possible path forward, and obviously it did have a great path forward because it passed unanimously. So I'm very, very pleased to be a part of this and sincerely thank everyone for all of their hard work to get us to a better place. Thank you very much, Council President.
Thank you for that. I also want to share my appreciation to the committee for really working on the legislative process how it's supposed to be done. And I appreciate the amendments that were made because it came out to be a really strong bill, especially removing the duplicative warrant access that was already on the Trust Act that we all already endorsed. And the portal was a genius idea, so thank you for that. I see Councilmember Kristen Mink. Thank you so much for moving this bill forward.
Thank you, Madam President, and thank you very much to everybody who's really worked thoughtfully on this bill, especially my colleagues on the Joint Committee and the chairs of both of those committees. This bill followed the passage of the State-Level Values Act, which established judicial warrant requirements at certain locations that the state identified and called sensitive locations that included public schools, public libraries, healthcare facilities operated by the state or local government, comptroller facilities, and courthouses. And coming out of that, I had a couple thoughts. One, that of course we need to cover every piece of county-owned, county-controlled property. And two, implementation issues. It was interesting to see how implementation proceeded following the passage of that state bill, and I continued to learn from the conversations that I had with staff on the ground who worked at those sensitive locations as identified by the state, and came upon staff who didn't know what qualified as public versus non-public areas, and I will say that this is like a year ago, so a lot has transpired. Our buildings are very secure. Our schools are extremely secure, but it did lead to an important learning process about how these policies need to be implemented in a very conscientious way, because these are very high stakes, high pressure situations, and we need to make sure that all of our staff feel fully prepared and that our public really understands what's going to happen when and how, what's legal and what's not legal. So I did find staff who were not confident about what exactly to say in certain situations, staff who didn't know who to call for support if they needed a warrant review, for example, or other legal oversight. So at this point now we have a bill that mandates all of that, but lots of work has gone on in between, because in all of our facilities, the executive branch, the schools, everyone is on the same page about what we want to accomplish, and now that has been codified. So in the bill, it requires that we have clear signage. And when I say clear, it means that any person, whether you are trained or untrained, will be able to understand which areas of county buildings, which areas of county property are non-public, and what that means. That there is a requirement there for a judicial warrant, that there are additional requirements in order for county staff to be able to proactively allow or open the door for immigration enforcement. It mandates that there be staff training. The executive branch is making that training available to county staff online so they can continue to reference it at any time, which is fantastic. The training per the bill must include sample scripts covering various scenarios involving potential ICE interaction. All frontline staff must be provided with a phone number to be able to contact a designated official at any time. I do want to give a shout out again to Chair Katz for his amendment that we're all excited about that establishes that online public reporting portal in order for folks to be able to report on unauthorized use of county property for immigration enforcement, harmful conduct by individuals, ostensibly conducting immigration enforcement, etc. And wanted to note also one important line in the bill now. The violations reported through the online portal may be used by the Office of the County Attorney to assist in enforcing the law and to make appropriate referrals to third parties, including other government agencies. So we are collecting, we are documenting, and obviously the hope is to be able to work to enforce the law with what we know right now is in many ways a lawless federal administration. I want to really thank the executive branch, especially Ms. Luisa Cardona. Thank you to Ms. McCartney Green for your diligent work on this. Thank you to my colleagues on the joint committees. Thank you to my team, especially Ana Martinez and Chris Wilhelm. They have done so much work on this. And thank you so much to the advocates who got that state bill done. Who weighed in on this process throughout to make sure that this got done and that we got it done right. And thank you to all of my colleagues who have shown their continuous support for this effort. I yield.
Thank you. Next, we have Councilmember Lori Ann Sayles.
Thank you, Madam President, and thank you to my colleague, Councilmember Mink, for introducing this legislation. Anything we can do to reassure our over 119,000 undocumented residents who call our county home during these difficult times is crucial to fostering a community that doesn't have to live in fear nor access services without fear. This bill is crucial for protecting our residents and ensuring that the commitments made in the Trust Act are actionable. When ICE comes to Montgomery County, this legislation will ensure that county staff, like librarians and rec center employees, receive training on how to respond appropriately when ICE attempts to enter without a valid judicial warrant. Ultimately, this bill is about rebuilding trust and assuring every resident in our community that our government will protect them even when the federal administration turns their back on them. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Again, this is a county that is going to do every single thing in our power to protect and defend and welcome our community, regardless of where they were born. So thank you for that, Councilmember Mink, and everybody that has worked on this piece of legislation. With that, we have a recommendation by the Joint Committee of Public Safety and Government Operations and Fiscal.
Council President, just wanted to make
Do you have one more thing? Yes. Okay, go ahead.
For those that are paying very, very, very close attention, this law also amends the same section that the Trust Act does. So there were some technical amendments just to address that in case anyone was following. More importantly, though, the bill is also slated to take effect within 91 days. However, the online public reporting is required to take effect before that 91 days.
Very important flag. Thank you for being an amazing staff member. So again, we have a recommendation from the Joint Public Safety and Government Operations and Fiscal Policy Committee. Can I have a motion? Moved by Councilmember Mink, second by Councilmember Don Lukey. This is a roll call vote. Madam Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Councilmember Lukey?
Yes.
Councilmember Lukey votes yes. Councilmember Mink?
Yes.
Councilmember Mink votes yes. Councilmember Sayles?
Yes.
Councilmember Sayles votes yes. Councilmember Stewart?
Yes.
Councilmember Stewart votes yes. Councilmember Glass? Yes. Councilmember Glass votes yes. Councilmember Katz?
Yes.
Councilmember Katz votes yes. Councilmember Friedson?
Yes.
Councilmember Friedson votes yes. Councilmember Evans?
Yes.
Councilmember Evans votes yes. Councilmember Jawando?
Yes.
Councilmember Jawando votes yes. Councilmember Balcom?
Yes.
Councilmember Balcom votes yes. Councilmember Fanny Gonzalez?
Yes.
Councilmember Fanny Gonzalez votes yes.
And it was unanimous. Thank you so much, everyone, and thank you for the Montgomery County Council to always, embrace our values and move forward with legislation that will protect our communities, especially the most vulnerable. We're going to move on with action on a resolution to support the Council on Governments Local Food Procurement Challenge. Councilmember Andrew Friedson.
Thank you, Madam President. Thank you to colleagues. Really excited about this. We had our Ag Day proclamation earlier today, and this is a continuation of our support for local agriculture. It's also a way in which Montgomery County is demonstrating regional and national leadership on these issues at a time when we are seeing dramatic and draconian cutbacks in food security, in a time when our local food resilience is more important than it ever has been before. We thought that the supply chain related issues of COVID would diminish. They've actually increased, unfortunately, some of which has been caused by a lack of federal support. We're now stepping up as a council of governments with a local food procurement challenge. Montgomery County is going to become the first jurisdiction in the region to do it. I'm excited to say that other jurisdictions are looking to follow in our lead, including Prince George's County and Loudoun County and several other jurisdictions. Senator Alsobrooks has expressed interest in getting involved in this. But what this will do is it will commit ourselves to dedicating a portion of our food dollars that we already spend to invest in local and regional food so that we can make a measurable difference for our economy, our communities, and our environment. And it also ensures that we designate a point person as part of the community of practice with the Council of Governments to ensure we have best practice and regional collaboration, that we look at the possibility of aggregation and of supply chain issues, because food does not stop at regional municipal borders. So really looking forward to that effort. Really appreciate all the work of the COG team, of Heather Bruskin, of many of our local partners. We're going to be gathering with several leaders later this afternoon at the break, and really excited to have representatives from MANA and AfriThrive and Council of Governments, as well as other regional colleagues. So this is just an exciting moment for us. It shows an example of how Montgomery County is leading, and how we're taking on these issues, not just talking about what is not happening at the federal level, but showing what we can do here at the local level to respond, to support our residents, to lift up agriculture, and to secure a more resilient food system.
Thank you for that, Chair Friedson, for this resolution. I actually found this so exciting, and I'm very happy that you're moving it forward, especially when we're in moments where we need to teach the next generation that food does not come from DoorDash. Food comes from, growing in places, and we do that very well in Montgomery County. We just need to do more, and I think what you're doing is very, I want to say the word visionary, because it is. And I want to thank you for that. So I need a motion to approve this resolution to support the Council of Governments Local Food Procurement Challenge.
So moved.
Moved by Councilmember Andrew Friedson, second by Councilmember, I don't know, guys, you guys are talking to Lori Ann Sales. There you go. All those in favor, please raise your hand. And the motion passes. Thank you so much. We are going to move forward to work sessions on the FY 27-32 Capital Improvements Program. These are work sessions to preliminarily review the committee's recommendations on the CIP. Final action on this and the operating budget will take place in May. The first is projects related to the Health and Human Services Committee. I'm going to ask the chair of the committee to please walk us to her package. What happened?
HHS folks aren't here yet, so do we want to go to the college first?
Okay, so we don't have HHS folks here yet. Where are they? It's okay. They're coming on the way. So we're going to start with, you said Montgomery College? Is Montgomery College is here? Yes. I see Dr. Williams here. We're going to kick off with Montgomery College, and I'm going to turn it to the Chair of Education and Culture Committee, Chair Jawando.
Thank you. Good morning. Montgomery College is always on time and early. Well, to be early is to be on time, right? So we really appreciate their efforts. The Education and Culture Committee met and recommended accepting the college's revised alternate, non-recommended cut scenario here. Recommendation was for $461.2 million, 15.979 NGO bonds, and 35.69 in state aid, above the CE's recommendation. The college would meet the 41.6 million of the CE's 58 million affordability reduction. And on March 13th, I just wanted to flag and staff. I don't know if we have our staff. Oh, there you go, Mr. Prouty. You're embedded in the team. Yeah, okay. I was looking over there. Yeah. You just need the purple tie. Yeah. The county executive's operating budget included an additional $3.625 million IT reduction that was not reviewed by the committee. So we'll need to discuss that today, bringing the total CE reduction to 58.082. So I think it would be appropriate. I'll turn it to staff, and then I would love for Dr. Williams and team to talk about the impact of that reduction, but also just speak to the larger. And I will just say you all have been great team players in coming back and trying to still meet the affordability concerns, but keep really crucial projects on track. And so with that, I'll turn it to Mr. Prouty.
Thank you, Councilmember Jawando. Just one additional note to make, as Councilmember Jawando noted, the additional operating budget reduction was transmitted after we took this up at committee, and that will have to be considered as part of the overall operating budget reconciliation. So the committee's recommendation is to accept the alternative scenario. I'll let Dr. Williams note in terms of the impact of that on the capital budget.
Yeah, and before I go to Dr. Williams, just to be clear, the Rockville Theater Arts Building, we heard about it a lot. The alternative scenario brings it back into the 6-year period, and the committee was unanimously in support of that, even though it pushes it off, obviously. And it's a 30-year-old building, and we've heard from a bunch of your students over the capital budget hearings and from you as well. It did require deferring the Germantown Student Affairs Phase 2 project, and the college had to absorb some capital asset management funding, $2 million per year in IT reductions. So with that, I'll turn it over to the President Williams.
Thank you. Excuse me. Thank you, Councilmember Jawando. Good morning. Good morning, Madam President, Madam Vice President. Good morning, Council members. Always a pleasure to be with you. And yes, we are working with the county council, working with the county to meet the needs of our students today and in the future. And we're just thankful for your leadership in these challenging times. And please know that Montgomery College remains committed to meet the moment, right? And meeting the moment is we're serving first generation students, our displaced federal workers, our immigrant residents, our student parents, students who are receiving Pell. Right, Montgomery College is here to serve every single resident, right, who has the ability to transform their lives, because that is what we are here to do, and that's what we are committed to do. And we remain a safe and inclusive place for all of our residents, and that shows. That shows in many ways. It shows one of those ways is our enrollment. Since FY22, our enrollment is up more than 16%. Right, so to put that in perspective, last year we served more than 46,000 students, 46,341 to be exact. Right, not that I'm counting, but I am. So when we think about those residents and the opportunity that they have to change their lives, it's not just growth. It really is it's a signal. It's a signal that affordable, high quality education is in need, and that your community's college is here to provide that. And when we think about that, we think about technology, and I'll speak to that in a few moments. But first, I just want to share and kind of recalibrating. You mentioned, Chair Jawando, that we're continuing to advance our major projects in the Rockville Library, Germantown Student Services Center, deferred maintenance, and East County. And I appreciate you uplifting the fact that we did go back and re-engineer pieces to get the theater arts building in there. And for those of you who have not heard me share, and for those of you who had heard me share, please give me some grace. I'll share again. This is an academic building. This is a workforce generator. There are 28,000 performing arts jobs associated with the education and training that occurs in this theater arts building. This is lab space. These are classrooms. These are stages. This is where individuals hone their craft, not just to be actors and actresses, but in lighting and set design, right, and so much more. You know, individuals like Topher Gott, who you heard, who testified, right, who has a prominent role at Imagination Stage, right? This building needs, and it was 1960s. The last time it was renovated was more than 30 years ago. 1960s, Lyndon B. Johnson, right, as the president at the time. So when we think about ventilation issues, we think about rodent issues, we think about other issues in terms of things that need to be addressed for our awesome students and the faculty and staff that support them. I appreciate your consideration with that. I do want to share really quickly, you said the information technology, and that was surprising and not in a good way. You know, the additional reduction proposed by the county executive for FY27 on top of reductions from our original request is deeply concerning. It is, we're 2026, right? And we're moving forward with technology. So the fact that we would be without salient components that are going to keep our information safe, keep our students safe, be able to provide for opportunities that students will be able to see a 2-year schedule when they register initially at Montgomery College, ensuring that they save time and save money, ensuring that we are not providing, federal or local dollars to ghost students, right? Ensuring that our students have a fantastic LMS, right? That these are the impacts of not having appropriate resources for the technology, right? We're not talking about something that powers a lazy river, right? We're not talking about, extra electricity for that. These are salient components for our students and for our faculty and staff. So I share that, and we can answer more direct questions, but just want to end with sharing again, Montgomery College is here to meet the moment. And when we think about meeting that moment, that's not only of today, but of the future, and we think about impact. We think about the 46,341 students. We think about the $1.4 billion a year of economic impact that Montgomery College provides. So again, I thank you all for your leadership. I thank you for listening, and we look forward to continuing to partner with all of you.
Thank you, Dr. Williams. And just to staff, that was submitted as part of the operating budget, so
it was.
We don't need to consider that today, but I appreciate you speaking to it.
Yeah.
Just for the colleagues' clarity, the recommendation is what we're voting on today on the CIP side. Is that correct, Mr. Brown?
That is correct. Thank you very much.
Back to you, Madam President.
I was going to say that. It's like, we're not talking about the operating budget, but it's okay. Thank you so much for being here and all your leadership. I have Councilmember Don Lukey next.
Thank you, Madam President. I'm always delighted when you come before us, and I am always delighted because you are exceedingly organized, direct, and I just want to share what a pleasure it is to be able to talk to your students who advocate on behalf of Montgomery College. And I, as a Pell Grant recipient myself, and as a first-gen college student, I'm getting ready to celebrate my 30th college reunion coming up in May. But how important it is to have varied pathways towards achieving your educational goals and your career goals. And Montgomery College delivers that across the board, and has so much to offer in terms of variability. And what I hear now from students is, of course, they're worried about the current economic times that we're in. And Montgomery College is providing them that place to be, to continue on with less worry and less fear, and also an incredibly welcoming and supportive environment. And so I just wanted to make sure that you knew how proud we all are of everything that you do on behalf of our students who are seeking to take it to the next level. And I've had the opportunity to guest teach, which is amazing, and I loved it. And they were not shy at all about asking outstanding questions, which is how I love it to be. And also to emphasize, because I don't know that it's always as known of a fact, but the DMV is quite a theatrical powerhouse in terms of employment and in terms of, generating our workforce and employees in that space. So, if you're not deeply in tune with that world, you may not know that it is as big of a force as it is. And so certainly our theater arts space there, and also current equipment. And I said this to your students who talked to me about it. I'm like, oh, you don't have to explain. I understand. The lighting boards and the sound tech don't run on the electricity that's in that building now. They are not, it is not wired appropriately for actually the technology that they need to be learning on, using, and doing in order to go get those jobs. It's not a nice to have. It's that the stuff that's there isn't really what they would be encountering in the workforce. So it is really about that hands-on workforce training in that space and in those jobs. So I appreciate that. I appreciate their advocacy, and look forward to our continuing work together.
Thank you. Next, Council Vice President Marilyn Balcom.
Thank you. So nice to see you during this process, and I echo my colleagues' words. It's great to see you. You come here with a very reasonable request every year, and I so appreciate that. And I fully support the budget, your request, particularly the Rockville Theater Arts Building. I mean, we've all been there. We know that it's in dire need of significant renovation, and I appreciate the money being transferred from the Germantown Student Arts Building, which I've supported all along, and I understand the reason for that. I just want to make a note that we need to get back in line, so when the time comes that funding is back in the CIP. So, but I appreciate the work that was done by the committee to come to this agreement. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Next, Councilmember Lori Ansels.
Thank you to the committee. Thank you, President Williams. As a graduate of a community college, it is so delightful to have you as the ambassador for our community college. I appreciate how thoughtful you are with your budget, how conservative you are with your budget, knowing how much our community depends on the greatness that results from the students that pass through all of the campuses across Montgomery College. And so I know that there is so much more that needs to be done, but I am so appreciative that you spread the love around all the campuses. And so I just thank you and all of your colleagues for ensuring that our students have the best amenities on this campus. And it makes them feel cared for, regardless of, not being a four-year university. Many people have passed through those community college and have gone on to do great things. So thank you so much for, stewarding our Harvard on the Pike, and looking forward to support your budget as well. Thank you.
Thank you for that. I don't think we have anything else to add from council staff on this item. And we have a recommendation from the Education and Culture Committee, and I think I can say safely, without objection, we're going to move forward. So thank you so much. We're going to go back to item...
Thank you, Councilmember.
You're welcome. A, which is the Health and Human Services Committee. I believe that they're all here now. So if you can please move forward, and we're going to kick it off with the chair of the committee, Chair Lori Ansels.
Thank you, Council President. I want to thank our Council President and the Chair of the Education and Culture Committee, Councilmember Jawando, for your collaboration on the Joint Committee CIP projects. Councilmember Jawando, if you would please share your updates from the joint session, and I will share a summary from the main HHS portion. Good with that.
Absolutely. Thank you, Chair Sales. I chaired the EC HHS portion, and this was on March 12th. The joint EC HHS committee met to discuss aspects of the CIP that pertain to early child care in education and school-based health services, and I'll shortly turn it over to Ms. Rodriguez-Hernandez, but the committees voted unanimously to concur with the executive's recommended CIP for all reviewed projects, and we discussed several important questions around increased costs, including prioritization criteria and how decisions were made around equity. There were a few pending questions that I'm sure Ms. Rodriguez-Hernandez will raise around one of the high school wellness centers projects and the funding for future capacity. And then the other is around the expansion of school-based health services in middle schools, which is a big need. So the other thing that I'll just mention is the current high school boundary study and the upcoming boundary for elementary will obviously impact all of this going forward. And so some of those, particularly as we look to expand school-based health services in elementary schools and linkages as well. So I will turn it to Ms. Rodriguez-Hernandez.
Good morning, council members. Yes, the Joint Committee did review several projects related to education or school-based services within the Department of Health and Human Services CIP period. The committee did unanimously recommend concurring with the county executive's recommendation for each of the projects, but as the chair noted, there's two reasons that typically these projects have changes in their fiscal costs or in the timeline. One is mainly due to around the actual implementation costs of when we get to these projects. So those are related to the child care renovation PDFs, such as the ADA remediation, playgrounds, and facility replacement. They saw a lot of impacts just based on the actual implementation costs for the projects. For the school-based projects, such as the High School Wellness Center and Expanded Wellness Services and School-Based Health and Linkages to Learning Center project, as the chair noted, the Montgomery County Public Schools CIP does have impacts on how they move forward in determining the sites for these projects as well. Mainly, they pair them when a school in the MCPS CIP has a major construction capital project, and then it is more cost-effective to make the renovations or add additions for these wellness services to those schools at that time. As the chair noted as well, during the operating budget conversation upcoming, the committee will also be discussing how to expand wellness services or the access to wellness services for students who attend a school that do not have a full high school wellness center or a linkages to learning center. In addition, I did want to note that on March 13th, the county executive did transmit an amendment to the Child Care Renovations ADA remediation project. However, the committee did not discuss that yet, of course, as they met on March 12th, and that will be brought up to the committee on the operating budget work session as well. So for today's review and straw vote, it would be on the January 15th transmittal for all of the CIP projects on the ECHHS side.
I don't see anybody with any questions, and so we can divide it in two. I can say that without objection, we approve the joint committee recommendation. Moving on, I'm going to turn it to the chair of the HHS committee again. Go ahead.
All right. Thank you, Madam President, and thank you, Councilmember Jawando. We also reviewed the second portion of the HHS committee session. We reviewed the remaining HHS CIP projects. I want to thank staff analysts, Ms. Nicole Rodriguez-Hernandez and Monsi Gosalia, for their excellent staff work on the packets, as well as my colleagues, Councilmember Friedson and Councilmember Lutke for their thoughtful engagement, and of course, county executive staff. The county executive recommends a 6-year CIP of $74.2 million for DHHS, which is a $2.7 million reduction from the prior 6-year CIP. That reduction is primarily driven by project closeouts rather than cuts to active programs. Both committees unanimously recommended concurring with the county executive's recommendation on all reviewed projects. I will focus on the key HHS items. First, the Affordable Living Quarters project, which will create 18 deeply affordable furnished living units at 600 East Goody Drive in Rockville so that individuals can end their experience with homelessness and access supportive wraparound services. The council approved a $7.2 million supplemental appropriation on March 3rd using home ARP federal funds. There is no new FY27 appropriation, and site selection is complete. Design is expected in FY27 with construction completion in FY29. I did raise questions about environmental conditions at the site. The Department of General Services and the Department of Environmental Protection confirmed that the issues identified in a 2019 health hazard evaluation have been remediated, and I have requested ongoing monitoring to ensure the site remains safe for residents and staff. With a site now identified for the affordable living quarters, the non-congregate shelter space is no longer needed, and the $150,000 previously allocated has been redirected to the affordable living quarter. And again, the committee approved this unanimously. Want me to go through all of them? All right. Okay, the second item was the diversion center. One, we have been deeply committed to seeing to fruition. It will implement the Crisis Now model in Montgomery County by offering crisis stabilization services that divert individuals experiencing behavioral health crises away from the emergency rooms and the criminal justice system and into community-based care. The primary facility will be on 7 Locks Road in Rockville. Design completion is expected in spring 2026 and construction completion in the winter of 2028. An off-site walk-in location at 1301 Picard Drive is expected to be designed, renovated, and completed this calendar year to begin meeting demand sooner. I want to note that total project expenditures have increased by $4.6 million, primarily due to unanticipated utility and site conditions. The county executive is requesting an additional $3.7 million in FY27 and $944,000 in FY28. The project is funded through $8.9 million in GO bonds and $18.7 million in state aid. DHHS is actively formalizing partnerships with local hospitals to establish standardized referral protocols, rapid intake procedures, and coordinated transportation. The committee also approved this item unanimously. 3 projects are pending closeout: the Avery Road Treatment Center, the Emergency Homeless Shelter, and Neville Street Shelter Phase 2. All are funded, completed, or nearing completion and have no additional funding requests. I have requested status updates as these projects close out, so please stay tuned. And for the council's awareness, I want to flag 2 amendments the county executive transmitted on March 13th, the day after our work sessions. The committee has not yet reviewed these, so our recommendations today are based on the original January 15th transmittal. First, the ADA remediation amendment would increase the 6-year total by $9.3 million in GO bonds and shift the project to 1 completion year instead of every other year. This increased funding is conditional on passage of the Growth District legislation. Second, the Diversion Center amendment increases the operating budget impact by $4 million over the 6-year period and reflects the annual utilization of 18 full-time equivalents. The recommended operating budget impact increases from $1.1 million per year to $2.1 million in FY27, $1.8 million in FY28, and $1.2 million for the remainder. So my question is, $3.5 million for health and wellness centers. I know that there's $3.5 million that was undesignated, and I'm hoping that our analysts or the council, county executive staff can share more about where this money will go. Is it staying with the wellness centers, or is it going into county reserves or being put in another budget line item area? And I yield.
Yes, Chair Sales. So in the High School Wellness Center and Expanded Wellness Services project, in the designation of the site schedule, the executive had recommended at removing some sites because their major capital construction projects for the MCPS CIP were removed, and instead keeping $3.5 million in capacity for future schools for placeholder funds, where the interdepartmental group of HHS and DGS and MCPS will work together to continue to utilize that funding specifically for that project of high school wellness centers and expanded wellness services as MCPS completes their boundary studies and the CIP is approved later this year.
Thank you. And yeah.
Thank you so much to Chair Lorian Sales. That was her first report as chair of the committee, so I thank you. Okay. Does anybody else have anything else to add? Hearing none, I don't see anybody else wanting to speak. And with that objection, the council accepts the committee recommendations. Thank you so much for that. We are going to move on to another exciting item, Montgomery Parks. I'm going to turn it to the chair of the Planning, Housing, and Parks Committee, Chair Fritzen, to please kick us off.
Yeah, thank you very much, Madam President. Really appreciate it. Look forward to this discussion. Always an ongoing issue that we have here at the council. I did want to give a moment to invite up the Parks Department in a moment. I know the Planning Board Chair is here. I think the Parks Director will be here momentarily. Just want to, first of all, thank the Parks Department for all they do, seen and unseen, for residents of our community. Over 400 parks, 37,000 acres of parkland, 4 lakes, 490 miles of streams, 303 outdoor tennis courts, 363 athletic fields. I'm filibustering here, Director. 276 playgrounds, 229 basketball courts, 270 miles of paved and natural surface trails, 134 picnic areas, 111 historic structures, 102 campsites, 28 park activity buildings, and 1 pig at Cabin John Regional Park that looks awfully good these days, thanks to the work of the department. Obviously, it's a jewel of Montgomery County, contributes significantly to our quality of life. It is one of the highest performing responses when people say what do they like best about Montgomery County and why do they love living here. Parks are always at or very close to the top of the list, and that's in addition to the programming, the environmental stewardship, and the special events that they offered. The request was for FY27 to 32, $294 million. It was a decrease of about $20 million, or 6.4%, over the FY25 to 30 CIP of $314 million. The executive recommended funding about $281 million, a 10.6% decrease from what was previously budgeted. There's an affordability reconciliation PDF, which includes a decrease of $6.4 million in GEO bond funding and a decrease of $4.8 million in current revenue funds. So there's about $11.2 million differential. I just want to point out that the committee deferred taking a final decision on the county executive's funding recommendations, that the department and planning board could come back to us with some specific scenarios for us to consider. And I just wanted to turn it over to Director Figueredo and Ms. Dunn. Before I do that, though, I did want to just one point. The committee did discuss the request that came from Councilmember Lukey regarding Emery Grove, and specifically she had requested $2.5 million in funding and a standalone PDF for Johnson's local park to ensure that we can fully honor the history of the park and the Emery Grove community. This is one of the most significant sites for recreational activities for our historic Black community in Emery Grove. It actually was a place where the Black community from all over the county and throughout the region, and frankly the entire country, descended in one of the centers of Black baseball for decades. Decades. We have state funding from that. We are looking to leverage that. I'll note we didn't agree to the $2.5 million specifically. I think it's a little early for us to understand what available resources there might be, but we did specifically recommend to have a standalone PDF so that we can leverage state dollars and that we can ensure that we have the county dollars that we can identify as we move forward to that. It may not be the GEO bonds that were requested by the district council member, but we are very supportive and looking forward to figure out what we are able to do for that important project. And I do just want to give a shout out to Councilmember Hans Reamer, who really has been championing this particular project for many, many years. With that, I think I have sufficiently filibustered for the director to catch her breath. I am happy to turn it over with the indulgence of the council president to the director and to the planning board chair to make some comments.
Well, we're delighted to be here, and we're thankful for the PHP committee for considering our request for full restoration of the CIP. And I'm going to turn it over to Director Figueredo to go over the details. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair Harris, and thank you, Council President and Councilmember Friedson, for giving me just a few minutes to address the full council about our CIP. Our request this year is really simple. We asked for $11 million in a combination of GEO bonds and current revenue to fund a few key projects, two of which are just about maintenance of our 100-year-old park system. Overall, and in terms of just GEO bonds, this is a small request. We asked for $6 million in GEO bonds, which, given the increase in SAG of $120 million, is in line with our 5% share of the county's total GEO bonds. And to put this ask in context, because I think it's important to kind of think about this in terms of scope and scale, we spent some time looking through the CIP, and we found that, for example, it includes $7 million in GEO bonds to replace slides at swimming pools in the county. It includes a $6.5 million project to replace HVAC at a maintenance facility. These are important things. I'm not telling you that the county shouldn't invest in them, but what I am saying is that when we asked for $6 million in GEO bonds for Wheaton Regional Park and for a solar initiative, in comparison, I think you can see that our request is very reasonable. So it's an overall small amount, but it means if we get it that we can move forward with the Wheaton Action Sports Park, for which we received $5.5 million in state capital funding. We can move forward with our solar initiative, which is in line with the county's sustainability goals. And when I was last here for the semi-annual, Councilmember Glass asked me about climate change, and my brain took a momentary vacation. It just went on a walkabout, and I failed to mention the fact that we have a solar initiative which is intended to address this very question of climate change so that we can do our part in facilitating this. It's $3 million of current revenue to keep our system in good repair. Again, we also have a lot of aging infrastructure that needs repair and replacement, and less than $2 million to make progress on repairs and improvements to our most popular amenities, which are trails. I understand the sentiment that everybody needs to take their fair share of a cut, that this is a very difficult time. I would put it to you that we don't ask for extra. We don't ask for, say, $20 million in the hopes that we'll get 11. I mean, we certainly have $20 million worth of needs and more. Our credibility is really important to us. We think that it ought to be the coin of the realm and that it is our strongest currency. So when we say to the council, this is what we need, it's the bare minimum that we need, we want you to know that we have put a lot of thought into this and that we are being very conservative in our request because we understand the challenging circumstances. Now, that said, of course, in response to the request from the PHP committee, we did provide to council staff and to the council some of our, not the ways in which we would take the reduction if we were asked to take part of a reduction. But of course, we are here to ask that ultimately you restore our $11 million requested increase in the CIP this year for this cycle. Thank you.
Thank you for that explanation, Director Figueredo. I'm going to ask Councilmember John Lukey is next.
Thank you, Madam President. And I 100% agree with the recommendation to restore the park's full request. And I'm just sorry that we always have to have this conversation because I do know you're very judicious in what you put forward to us and that every dollar is accounted for in something that is necessary to maintain the parks and deliver the services that our residents expect and are highly utilized. And also just want to thank the PHP committee and Chair Friedson for their setting forth and agreeing to a standalone PDF for the Johnson's Local Park Initiative. And I certainly appreciate why there is no decision on the 2.5 million additional GO bonds separate request for that park. And to Chair Friedson's comments, certainly this was something that former council member Hans Riemer attempted to get off the ground, and now we're at the part where everybody's assembling, and it's an all hands on deck sort of situation. And so I want to thank you, Director Figueredo, and your colleagues for all of your ongoing collaboration and work, and Pastor Warner and the Emory Grove community and the task force for highlighting the importance of this, because this is so much more than a park. It is a place of living history and a place where we must acknowledge what the past was, what went wrong, and what will be for the future. And so this is very much a multi-year project, and I know we are optimistic that we will be able to get the state bond fund request realized from our District 19 delegation, and I want to thank them for their collaboration as well on this. But truly, we will need to make sure we have time, care, and attention on this moving forward so that we make sure we are bringing the full vision to life. And we will do that however we can. So thank you all for that and for your ongoing teamwork.
Thank you. Next, Councilmember Kate Stewart.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for being here. And just want to say again, thank you to the parks and all the work that you are doing. Excuse me. I also support putting the money back in the CIP. And one thing I just wanted to highlight, if we could, if I'm not mistaken, the transferring of parkway maintenance from MCDOT to you all. I think that includes Sligo Creek Parkway, Beach Drive, and Little Falls Parkway, and that will take effect July 1st. Is that correct? Yes. All right. Heads nodding. Yes. I just wanted to note that and say, I think I'm thrilled that is actually happening. No shade on DOT. But I think there is generally a great deal of confusion from our residents on who to call, and it gets confusing. And I will just speak for what is in my district and Sligo Creek and Beach Drive, and just thinking about this maintenance being under parks and the approach of thinking about this as part of our parks and really thinking holistically. Again, no shade on DOT, but I'm just very glad that we are making this transfer. Thank you.
We love DOT. Okay, Councilmember Will Jawanda.
Thank you. Yes, and we love DOT, and we love parks, and we love everybody. So I appreciate you all coming back and raising this. Obviously, we had discussion in committee about, and we just had a previous discussion with Montgomery College where we had a very judicious and usually under budget and very cautious with their request, but we recommended accepting their reductions, right? And I just think as we move through, it's important that, to back way up, even if we meet the county executive's recommendation, there's still a $450 million gap with his spending affordability and that we're going to have to make up in the CIP. And I just think I don't feel responsible as a council member to just say, I love a lot of things that are in here, including the solar array, and we talked about that and how that will be used, and could we defer some of that? So I think it's important for the full council to at least hear what the projects would be that to meet the affordability recommendation, and just to and staff can do it, or you can do it, Ms. Figueredo, or just because obviously at the end of the day we're going to have to make all the puzzle pieces fit no matter what. But for me, it's really difficult to not attempt to meet it or have that analysis. So I'd appreciate. I don't know if Ms. Dunn would like to do it. Yeah.
Good morning. Well, what I would suggest in the staff report, you could turn to
Page 17.
Page 17. So in response to the committee's request, the Parks Department did provide 3 scenarios for you. They're attached on circle pages as well in their writing. What staff tried to provide you here on page 17 is a recap of those 3 scenarios. The first one is if you were to retain the full funding, you would result in the $11.2 million gap over the CE's recommended budget. Scenario 2 does take some reduction. It's $2.5 million reduction and results in an $8.7 million gap over the CE's recommended CIP. And then, of course, the third scenario provides a $3.4 million reduction. It retains the funding for Wheaton Regional Park. It retains the funding for the planned lifecycle asset replacement for non-local parks, and retains only 2 years of funding for the energy PDF, which is in an effort to retain some federal credits that the parks receives for these solar arrays. And it would cut the increase in funding to the natural surface trails. So you have these scenarios. They all 3 still result in a funding gap over the CE's recommended budget. And then so also in the staff report provided all the other projects and parks that receive current revenue, all the other projects and parks that receive GO bond funding, and you can also see how kind of consistent those are over the years. They would go below current funding. The cuts you see here in these 3 scenarios do not go below current funding. So even if you were to take scenario 3, to take the largest cut, 1, you're still over the CE's recommended budget, and you haven't gone below current funding for any of the current projects at the Parks Department.
I appreciate that, and you mentioned something I meant to mention too. We all agreed at committee that we didn't want to lose any access to matching funding, which all these maintain, and we wanted to prioritize the improvements to Wheaton Regional Park, which all of these maintain. I personally think we should do one of these, and I'm open with colleagues on which one to do, just to be consistent with how we're approaching this. We made a recommendation from Montgomery College, for example, to restore some of the reduction in the case of the Rockville Theater Arts. But I appreciate your advocacy for your department, which you should always do, and I know you spend the money well, and this is just more about the larger issue for me. Thank you. Yeah, so I would like to move scenario 2. Yeah.
So we have a motion by Councilmember Will Jawando to consider scenario 2, which is, as you can see on page 17. Please turn to page 17. Retains the requested increase. I'm not going to read it. You guys can see it. But it results in a $8.7 million gap in funding over the county executive recommended CIP. Does Parks want to mention anything else? I know you already spoken. It's already in front of us. But I see, Councilmember Marilyn Balcom.
Was there a second?
Oh, there was no second. Was there a second? Oh, there's no second. Oh, nobody wants a second? Are you? No. Okay, if we're not second, it means that we're going to move forward with that PHP recommendation. There was it. Okay, we do need. Okay, so there's no second.
If there's no second, I'll withdraw the motion.
The
You guys,
motion has
you guys
been.
can figure it out on your own. I think I've made it clear where I am, but if there's
I'll
no
move
second,
scenario
withdraw.
one.
Okay, so
Second.
we have, okay, hold on. We have, the motion was removed, and then we have canceled the chair of the PHP committee moving scenario one, and has been second by Councilmember Don Lukey. I agree with that recommendation. So I know that we have Councilmember Marilyn Balcon wanting to speak. Are you speaking on this motion? If you're going to speak on this motion, please get yourself on the queue.
Sure.
Okay.
It's difficult to. It's difficult to determine whether I'm speaking on this specific motion or in general. So I've made this statement before. I think it's important to make it again right now that this is whatever we decide on today is preliminary. We cannot make decisions until we see what the full impact is for the budget, and it's. Of course, I want to support everything that the parks needs, but I want to say that whatever we do here today does not mean what we're going to do 6 weeks from now. So, thank you.
I appreciate Council Vice President Marilyn Balcom for reinstated what we have been saying since we started this process on the CIP. I do see value of retaining everything in scenario one, so by the time we come back together in May, we can have everything on the table, and that's why it's so important. I don't see anybody else wanting to speak, so with that, we have a motion to retain scenario one, and second by Councilmember Don Lukey. All those in favor, please raise your hand, and it is unanimous. With that, I don't see anybody else wanting to speak, and with that, without objection, the full council approves the PHP recommendations that we're giving. Thank you so much for your time, and we continue to work with you all as we go through this process. We're going to move on to item number 5, and it is the consent calendar. Is there a motion to approve the consent calendar? Moved by Councilmember Lori Ansels. Second by Councilmember Andrew Fritzen. Those in favor, please raise your hand. It is unanimous. We're not done yet, ladies and gentlemen. No, we have Councilmember Evan Glass next. Go ahead.
Thank you very much, Madam President. I'd like to use this moment for personal privilege. It is a bittersweet moment here at the Council, and particularly in my office, because I am losing a indispensable member of my team, my Chief of Staff, Valeria Carranza, who has been with me from day one, building this office, passing legislation, helping countless residents across Montgomery County. Val and I have known each other for 15 years, introduced by former Councilmember Hans Riemer, for whom she worked, and also former Delegate Heather Mazier. They brought us together to meet at Jackie's Sidebar in downtown Silver Spring, because Maryland was on the cusp of becoming the first state to pass marriage equality. And both Councilmember Riemer and Delegate Mazier thought we should meet and help fight for the residents of Maryland. And meet we did. I was already on the board of Equality Maryland and got Val to join the board, and we passed marriage equality. And the work there didn't end because Valeria was on Capitol Hill working for various members of Congress, serving as the executive director of the Congressional Hispanic Caucus. And after I won in 2018 my seat to the council, I remember meeting with her and saying, "You are doing incredible work for the people of New York and California and Texas. How about you do incredible work for your own neighbors?" And from that, she became my first hire in my office. And as she was onboarding, she was telling me about all the paperwork that she was filling out. And when she told me she had to fill out her salary history, that was the inception for the Pay Equity Act, because I recognized she should not be filling out that piece of paperwork. But it was through our conversations, day-to-day, minute-to-minute conversations, that piece of legislation and so many other important laws have been passed, inspired by us asking questions, challenging the status quo, and fighting for every resident of Montgomery County. And it is ironic, to say the least, that while she's leaving the council, she is going back to Capitol Hill to lead the federal advocacy effort for an organization called Moms Rising, whose among the many legislative goals they have is establishing pay equity across the United States. So it is a full circle moment that Val is going back to the Hill to fight for all Americans. But I am so proud and honored of our partnership. And I know that Montgomery County residents, whether they know you or not, are appreciative of you. And I know our entire team and so many here at the council are appreciative of you as well, Val. So thank you for all your work. I appreciate you deeply.
Oh, we love Valeria. You're gonna be missed. We know where to find you, but we're gonna miss you. With that, the council will be in recess until 1:15 p.m., at which time we will return for a proclamation recognizing Trans Day of Visibility and the reminder of our agenda. Thank you so much. We're adjourned.